Thank you very much, and hello to everyone. I have a video which I'm going to play, but I'm going to give you a brief introduction to Ocucon for those of you who don't know us. Ocucon primarily has developed a piece of cloud software for storing CCTV, unlimited amounts of CCTV for an unlimited period of time within the cloud. The product that we're showcasing you tonight is occupied by Ocucon. Around 6 weeks ago now, a global food retailer approached us and asked if we could deliver a technology solution for them to count people into their premises, count the people out of their premises, and then give them a total occupancy management figure. They asked us if we could set that limit, and if we could set that limit, then they could program that depending on the size of their store and their premises, depending on the number of square feet. And then what we would also do is interact with the door, the automated door, which would then disable it once you reach a certain level of occupancy, and then also install a traffic light at the door, which would be a green, red, walk, don't walk, or full, or spaces. We deployed that technology and we managed to develop it within 10 days. We then added a group marshalling feature, which then managed the flow of people coming into a store, for example, first thing on a morning. So it would only let 5 people into a store and then create a 60-second gap, and then another 5 people into the store to make sure that flow of people and social distancing was being observed. We deployed that additional feature within 7 days. We now have this in many sites, and we have orders for well in excess of 1,000 systems to be put into retail, because it's a very cost-effective solution, and the retailers that we have it with are showing an ROI of under 30 days, which is very aggressive. So moving on to the video, I'll go through each slide at a time. Some small pieces of introduction here that you'll see. I think the first point in all of this is the fact that store workers are becoming the enforcers at the front door. It's not a particularly nice job that they like to do. It's very expensive for you as a business. And it comes with risks associated to that as well, with being in constant contact with customers. Moving on, we have a circumstance here where there was a member of staff who was actually, while at the door, was spat in the face, which is not very good. And the third piece in this small slide is the fact that it's generally accepted that for members of staff and associates to actually encourage and monitor social distancing is very, very difficult. What we also have here when we're working with a global retailer, some of this footage is redacted. It's also key that when we do have the traffic light, we can see here above the door, which is walk, don't walk. There's a lot of point of sale material, which then lets the customers know what's happening here. And as we go further through the video, we'll then see that they're managing queues outside of the store to make sure that social distancing is observed. So it's key to make sure that the entire message and the entire customer experience is correct. What we have here is an example of some of the views of the cameras before we move on to a video. So what we're seeing here is an entrance camera on the right-hand side and an exit camera on the left-hand side. The blue lines are digital lines, which are overlaid on the camera, and these are bi-directional. So if anybody walks into a store or out of a store over that line, it counts people in both ways. But as people walk in over here, it counts them in, and as people walk out over there, it counts them out. And it is as simple as that. We have another small slide here, which again, just working with other retailers, we're making sure that we have markers outside of the store to maintain 6 feet distance for social distancing, and then to observe the sign, and it is fully automated, and we're working with the major door manufacturers to make sure that is delivered, which is a key USP with our product. As we move on now, just before I press play on this video, this is a video which I've stitched together. So what we have here in the screen is we have some information at the top of the screen, which is the forward count on the entrance door, and we have the forward count on the exit door. And as you can see here in the bottom left-hand corner, this is the traffic light. The first part of the video shows general occupancy management, and then the next two parts of the video show the group marshalling, which only allows blocks of people in at a time. So as we can see here, and this person walks out of the door, that increases to 37. And as we see, the traffic light in the bottom left-hand corner then activates, and that lets people in the door. Now we've stitched the other piece of video together here. So again, we're on red, even though our occupancy account is nowhere near the maximum. In this circumstance, 60 seconds has elapsed. Somebody is then walking into the store, and there's more people following, and you'll see the gentleman in the red t-shirt here. Once 5 people are counted in, the red light automatically then counts 5 people in, puts the red light on, and he observed the light very nicely. Again, this is just showing another instance where people are leaving the store, and as you will see in a moment, just because people are leaving the store, because the group marshalling hasn't elapsed with 60 seconds, it didn't let them in straight away. Again, just to stress, this is fully automated. It works with the door and the traffic light to ensure that you can remove all door marshals if you require. So again, just staying with this, why Occupy by Ocucon, and I'll let the page fill before I press pause. The 5 major points there, we've developed this with a global retailer. So we've made sure we have this with live trials in their premises. It's trialed and tested. Genuine occupancy control, which is fully automated. We can support any proof of technology trials with fuller forensic analysis to look at videos to make sure we get a true accuracy number for you to prove the technology works. And quite importantly, ONVIF compliant, and probably more importantly, it's free from any trade blacklists. And that is my presentation complete, probably slightly shorter than the 7 minutes, but would welcome any questions.
Great. Thanks so much, Gary. Let me start off with you tried it and you worked it out with a global retailer, and they were kind of your guinea pig, so to speak. Can you talk about kind of what were the challenges to implementation? What were the hurdles that you had to overcome, and kind of what were the lessons you learned? What is it? So therefore, what does a retailer have to do today to get this?
That's a great question, Nick, and it's very relevant. So far away from using the term people counting, you have to have a very high accuracy number. So the algorithms we have to use have to be well in excess of 99% to get accuracy. The problem we have with occupancy management is if you have a 95% accuracy, that means your occupancy number is 5% out, and then that's compounded hour on hour. So if you have a 12-hour day or a 14-hour day, that means if you're 5% out, your occupancy number could be 60 to 70% out. So we had to work very hard to get that accuracy above 99% to make sure we delivered and this technology works. The particular retailer we developed this with are actually showing increase in sales of 10 to 15% in stores, because what they're also getting is maximum occupancy as per the number of square feet they've got, and they've showed an increase in productivity of 15% as well. So they are over the moon with the technology and what it's doing for them, reducing risks, managing customers, keeping staff safe, and automating the process.
That's great. So I have two quick questions from the audience. So one, and it kind of tails into the answer you just gave, so let me do that one first. Can this solution also do conversion rates for sales?
Okay, so what we're doing is we're developing a further dashboard. We wanted to make sure we got the technology absolutely correct first. So what we could do is we could bespoke the Ocucon cloud dashboard to deliver the metrics of people count, which would then allow you, if you wanted to create an API with your sales numbers, and we could work with you to develop that dashboard and that integration. Like we say, the group marshalling from request to deployment, we wrote the code and deployed it within 7 days. So we're very agile.
Sure. So next question is, what if I don't have automatic doors, but do have ADA push button doors?
Okay, so what we can work with other locks on there, and we could introduce a mag lock. But if you have a push button door, it's a very good question, and if you'd be willing to get in contact, I'm sure we could find a solution. And it's the first time I've been asked that question, but I'm sure there's a solution we could come together, even if it is just somebody observing the traffic light.
Sure. Wonderful. Thanks so much, Gary. I appreciate your time.